We continue on this use case series of how QRadar can help customers detect fraud on things that are not necessarily too networking related. They don't come from firewalls, and they just come from the applications. How can we leverage the investment that we have already in QRadar? Another use case created by Chris Hankins in Dallas. So here we have the log source similar to the one that we had in the first instance of this video, in which we have the applications log, and what the customer wants to do is detect accounts takeover. One way that account takeover can be detected is by detecting when an authorization cookie is used twice, because the legitimate user logs in. If the hacker steals the cookie, can impersonate the actual user. So the customer says, well, how can I quickly set QRadar up to detect that? And we actually were able to do this fairly quickly by creating two rules. So the first rule is this one: place each cookie into a reference set, cookie yard, and basically says, well, when the logs come only from the IBM counter fraud, which is the logs that we saw before, and when the property authentication cookie is in there, what do we want to do? Well, basically the action is add to a reference set. And what we're doing is we actually adding that cookie, which is a custom property, into the reference set called authentication cookies use, that is alphanumeric. If we go here into the admin tab and we go into reference sets, we sort all those. So we have an authentication cookies use that is an alphanumeric, has nothing in it, and we can actually edit. Let's show you how we created it. We actually put a time to live of 1 day, just to make sure that this file doesn't get too big. That's another property of the reference set, the time to live. So it gets flushed. Anything that after 1 day being there, it gets actually flushed. Again, we don't want this file to get too massive. To show you how that first rule is going to work, we expect that it to actually populate that reference set with all the cookies. So we actually replay those logs, and we see them coming here. So in every one of these is going to be extracting the cookie and actually placing it into the cookie yard, the reference set. I'd like to call that the cookie yard. Actually, we go to the admin console and look into the reference set. We see that that cookie yard is being filled with, not filled, but populated with 370 cookies. There should be more. Yep. Now this we put 1,000 events on the log, so that's what we actually were expecting. So now we have this reference set populated with each of those cookies. That's good. Now we take a look at the second rule that we created for this. As you probably had been guessing, what we do is that we restrict this rule to work with only the IBM counter fraud application, which is the one we only want to look at the cookies for. And whenever we find a cookie, if the cookie is contained in that cookie jar, then this rule triggers, and it should fire this particular offense. And to test our condition, we're going to actually replay this log, which only contains 2 transactions, and this cookie, as we can see here, actually we are replaying it from the previous case, so that should be in the cookie yard, and they one is a withdrawal, another one is a deposit, and they should contribute to that particular offense. So let's play that one. So let's play that particular file. Actually, that's actually play very fast, just 2 transactions, and we should be getting an offense firing on that condition. And as we see here, we got our rule firing on that particular event, that the cookie has been reused. Again, it's a very simple way of, probably there are other ways of doing this, but this was a quick one to get a track of all the cookies being used, being put into a temporary storage, which is the reference set, and then having rules that check whether a cookie has been used there or not.